Whoa.
Welcome back to this next episode of the Theme Park Universe Podcast. I am the Theme Park Wizard, and with me is Dr. Proctor, Lofter, Hawker, Talker, Marker, Rash Guy. How are you?
It just gets longer and longer whenever you do that. I'm doing pretty good. Wizard, we have had, the news cycle has slowed down a little bit in terms of theme parks, but not that much. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff going on here, so I hope everybody is ready. We're gonna start out with a little bit of Disney, but we're gonna bounce around through this whole show.
They have to tuck on the yellow strap first, Doctor.
Yes, you gotta tug on the yellow strap. We gotta make sure you're all locked and ready here. That is for sure. Speaking of yellow straps, though, let's talk about Josh that didn't work at all, actually. But let's talk about him anyway. Josh D'Amaro, he's had a couple of pop pieces put out for him. We obviously saw CNBC's article on him, and why is all this stuff coming out? People might ask. Well, a lot of it's coming out because not that. Yes, that. He is in a 4-way race right now with Jimmy Pitaro, Alan Bergman, and Dana Walden to try to claim the top spot as the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. And so they have been highlighting Josh D'Amaro a lot in several ways. One of those ways is because, according to the last year's revenue totals, the Parks division, or the Experiences division, contributes about 70% of the overall profit for the Walt Disney Company. And you can actually see that here. I've showed this chart many, many times, so anybody who see my stuff, okay, you're well informed on this. But I just want to, again, highlight just how much profit for the Walt Disney Company is made up for by the Parks or Experiences segment, and you can see that right there. So all the profit is about 3.9 here. You can see Experiences 3.1. It is massive how important the parks are. So Hollywood Reporter had a big old article talking about this, and it is quite extensive, folks. We don't have time to cover nearly all of it. But one of the things that was really interesting was getting Josh D'Amaro on the record talking about stuff that might be coming to Disneyland. So it says right here, several franchise attractions for the area have been floated. Area meaning Disneyland Forward. With Iger reiterating during the April 3rd shareholder meeting an intention to bring a lush green Avatar land to California. You can kind of see that right there. Lush indeed, I would say, a theme park wizard. But it says, quote, we will have enough room to build the equivalent of another Disneyland park. And so then you start to think about, well, what can we do here? D'Amaro says, we haven't told any stories on Wakanda, for example. We haven't told any stories on Frozen, although it's a 10-year-old franchise. You think about franchises like Coco and Encanto, and we almost have an endless stream of stories that we can tell. Please, Wizard, what do you think about the possibility of not just Avatar coming, but Frozen, Encanto, and Coco?
After seeing a Tokyo Disney's new Frozen Ever After ride, which looks absolutely fantastic, boy, I hope that makes its way over here. That would be quite nice. Encanto, I still think I should get a nice Mystic Manor style dark ride if it comes here. But Zootopia, I feel like that would be best if it comes here for Hollywoodland in the backlot and fit quite nicely there, especially if they add some California landmarks, Zootopia 5. But some of the options, I feel like they're toying out so much stuff. Obviously, first would be the Avatar, but then they'll probably see what sticks, especially with those sequels coming up with Zootopia and those Toy Story and all that kind of stuff for this and for it. But I do think Frozen is a pretty good lock, especially since it was going to come multiple times before in multiple different places. But also Wakanda, that's an interesting one because obviously going to be part of Adventures Campus, but that is a beautiful world to explore. Oh, I think
and I'm muted as well. Wow, this production is going very, very well, just right out the gate. No, I didn't mean to click on that. That's for another story for another time. We'll be getting to that one, folks. Don't even worry about that. However, I wanted to highlight some of the stuff that he was talking about right here because it's interesting. We have never really heard any of these franchises associated with the parks with at least Disneyland before. This is kind of a new thing here, and so I think that's what makes this particularly interesting. Is that to have franchises like Zootopia, and I'm trying to find my tabs here. The show actually Zootopia in its incarnation right now in Shanghai, and I can't seem to find it, so that's okay. Oh, here we go. That's the one. We can see right here Zootopia featured right there in Shanghai. And it would be, I think, interesting for Zootopia to come here. However, one thing that might upset these plans for Zootopia specifically is how it depicts police culture. Apparently, there was an idea to bring Zootopia to as part of the original reimagining plan for Splash Mountain. And apparently, it made some Imagineers uncomfortable featuring a franchise like that is so vested in police culture. You can kind of see right here that in the current form of Zootopia at Shanghai, you actually walk through a prison, which is interesting. I don't know if those aspects would be necessarily carried over. However, I do think you're right, Wizard. A Zootopia-fied LA might be very interesting, and that could work. Certainly, I think a lot of people would agree that it might work out even better than incorporating Zootopia into Animal Kingdom, which is interesting for sure. But
it's kind of fits in that urban vibe right there.
Right. I think it does, and for Hollywoodland specifically, that might actually be, I think, a better fit. Look, listen, we've gone over this a little bit, and I think it bears repeating here. There is a spot that if you incorporate the land as part of Disneyland Forward, and specifically that kind of Eastern Gateway portion. Usually I have that on screen right here, folks, but I didn't think we were necessarily going to go over this. I'm sorry, but if there's a land to the north of Hollywoodland right now where the bus depot is, if you remove that and you open up all that area along Harbor there as you work your way north, and then you have the carousel or the carousel inn as it was, you have that walkway over and you have a little pathway there, you potentially open up a lot of real estate. And seemingly, I mean, that's one of the ideas for this Avatar experience. The problem with that, though, is that, what do you do with the Hyperion? Do you get rid of it? I don't want to get rid of the Hyperion, and I think that's better for the Disney Resort that it has that, right? What do you do with Buena Vista Street? It's going to be right next door. That's going to be a harsh transition. What do you do to make that work? Maybe Zootopia is the workaround, as Wizard says.
Even the trolley could fit in Zootopia,
Yes, it does. Yep. It fits right out the gate there. So I think you might be onto something here, Wizard. You might be on something here for sure. What do you feel about Encanto or Coco?
Oh, well, Coco, I definitely think needs some representation in California Adventure. Adventures are sticking with the California Adventure theme because Coco, it's all about California. It would really represent the nice Hispanic culture, Latin American culture we have going on here. That represents a lot of California. So I think a Coco attraction is long overdue, actually, especially a nice dark ride or boat ride would be fantastic for that area. And Encanto, same thing. It could be a whole little it could be a whole Disneyland Forward plot over there. It could be like a little Latin America land with Encanto, Coco, and make, again, a Mystic Manor style attraction where you go through each room. And that sounds super cool.
Right.
I
think I agree with you on this. The Hispanic culture is really, 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 really big. Sorry, Wizard, were you going to say one more thing?
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay. But I don't want to cut you off at all. The Hispanic culture is really, really big in Southern California. That is for absolutely for sure. And I think Coco and Encanto make a lot of sense to be represented there in some way. However, it all depends on execution, right? And look, California Adventure requires boat rides and it requires dark rides. Like we've got our fill of outdoor attractions at California Adventure.
We sure do.
How can we incorporate more of that Disneyland magic there? I think Coco and Encanto can definitely be the answer on that one. There's a lot of places we can go here. It's just how do we take that 1.9 or 2.5 billion dollars that we're getting as part of Disneyland Forward and incorporating that in the best way we can possibly? I think Encanto and Encanto, sorry, make a lot of sense. Now, Frozen, we have heard tell of that being incorporated into the Disneyland Resort before. The area to the north of Tomorrowland has been a site that they've kind of had their eyeballs around. We've also heard the area between Toontown and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, although that was a long time ago. They've want Frozen permanently installed at Disneyland Resort for a while. The problem, though, is that he does make a point here. I mean, that franchise did come out in 2013. Even if they start construction right now, it wouldn't be until 2020, probably 7 or 8 until something like that opens. By that time, we're talking 15 years.
It is, but there is a Frozen 3 coming.
Frozen 3, yeah. There is a Frozen 3 coming, so it wouldn't be completely irrelevant. I'm not suggesting that it would be, but to theme, I mean, especially like a Frozen land like we've seen in Hong Kong and Tokyo and Paris now. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Wizard. I'm not sure. Which, by the way, did we talk about Disney Adventure World on the last show, Wizard? I can't even remember if we did.
I think briefly mentioned it first. I remember the name change first. Because we did show the logo and everything. We gave
right. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we are at least comprehensive enough for our viewers here. And the Hollywood Reporter does bring that up. Overseas plans include bringing World of Frozen to Paris and renaming the park to Disney Adventure World, adding a new entryway. These are good things, especially as Disney increases their stake at Disneyland Paris. But I just kind of wanted to bring those to your attention right here. Again, these are not plans that have been formally announced. However, they are definitely in the works. That is
and the votes next week, folks.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What, May 7th?
May 7th. Same day as the earnings call.
May 7th. That is the vote for Disneyland Forward, if you guys aren't already aware. But we have some things that have just recently come out here. We have a little bit of Pixar Fest action. And look, I mean, some people have been very opinionated on how these look. However, these installations, I don't know, Wizard. I mean, they spent some money on these, it looks like.
Yeah, and I was there over the weekend, and that particular one in the Esplanade looks massive. It's actually pretty tall. Like, it's bigger than I thought. I was like, wow. And it didn't look too terrible. It's always temporary, but represents all most of the characters, at least the main ones. I like the white color scheme. I don't know about the bronze one though on the main street, but I do like the white color schemes going on there on the edges.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I like the Tower of the Four Winds kind of throwback, and I like how it's four-sided as opposed to some of the dual-sided ones like these, because you really can't see them unless you're directly in front of them or directly behind them. So I like its massive size. I mean, the Esplanade needs something, so it's nice to see something of size and scale there. I think my only criticism would be, I don't know if the base quite works as well as intended. Also, I from what I'm hearing, there's a lack of lighting on this at night, which is really unfortunate, and maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think there's any lights. Yeah, and it does not move. The base does kind of look like a birthday cake or something, like a base for a birthday cake.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with Casual earlier about this, and he was just like, look, listen, this is not necessarily an art installation, right, where it can be interpretive. This is really about design. And so if the design doesn't really match up with your idea of how it should look, if you question the design in your head, maybe you've done something wrong here. And so I think in the future, maybe this base might be it might stand for some improvement on the next iteration of this. I'm sure these installations are so big I think they're going to be reusing them. So if we do Pixar Fest again, maybe we can address those, get some lighting on this. And yeah, propellers, come on, man. I mean, if you're going to do Tower of the Four Winds, let's do it.
Yeah, I would have like extended the four corners all the way down to the ground, like where you can see them. And the ball, I would have made it like a ball, 360 ball. That way, it would be more. Look more complete that way.
I do agree. There is some really cool stuff here, though, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like stuff that's
like the little sci-fi dine thing like at Hollywood Studios.
Yes. And I believe I might have. Nope, I sure don't. But I thought I had some more photos of this. This is actually really cool. Apparently, they're playing Pixar shorts there, and you can saddle up, and you and your family, your kids can watch some shorts together. I think this is really, really cool. It's not behind a paywall or anything. This is something that's going to be available as far as part of Pixar Fest at Disney California Adventure. I think this is really, really cool. Like I said before, as opposed to like the dance parties at like the Fantasyland Theater, for example. I don't know. I think it just doesn't. It's just. Is it cheap? Is it easy? I'm not sure. But this is really awesome, I think. I think this is really cool. And by the way, speaking of those dance parties, Wizard, I think you you saw something that was quite interesting when you were there.
Yeah, they didn't use a single Disney song. In fact, they used Barbie songs from the recent Barbie movie and the recent Trolls movies. So, thought that was quite interesting.
That is interesting. I am surprised that they didn't actually incorporate Pixar or Disney music. That's so weird, especially for something that's Pixar Fest. I think I like how they did the fireworks presentation. I like this. There are aspects of the art installations or the I should say the signage and so forth that we were going over before. That you see at the front of the parks and so forth. I think those were pulled off better than I expected. However, I think they could stand for some improvements here or there. The one thing missing from all of this, I like all of it, and the enhanced effects for the fireworks. I was seeing a couple of those things. Very cool. The one thing missing though, stage show. Where is a stage show?
Yeah, no IPA, no theater, nothing.
Yeah, I think that would have really just tipped the scales and really would been a slam dunk for them. It's just so weird how we don't have entertainment. I think that's the one thing missing still from a pre-pandemic era that hasn't necessarily been restored. So hopefully we get some improvement to all that. But you know who will be improving that substantially here is Universal Studios. So they're like, hey, we are bringing the entertainment to a theme park near you right here.
And they're going to be roaring with entertainment. Roaring.
That's right. Theme Park Wizard has the update for us right here. Universal Orlando is full of summer fun coming this summer. DreamWorks Land opening June 14th. Universal Mega Movie Parade debuting July 3rd. Hogwarts Always, a new castle production show coming to Hogsmeade June 14th. Cinesational, a symphonic spectacular debuting June 14th with music and movies. Maybe even drones. Well, I think drones are confirmed now, right?
Oh, they sure are. Look at that, huh?
Mm-hmm. Right here. Here's that beautiful artwork right here. I'll go ahead and read this very fast so we can get right back to it. The Next Level Lagoon show will feature 228 fountains that reach heights of up to 131 feet, incredible 4K projection mapping, an original composition featuring newly arranged scores meticulously crafted to each scene, and more than 600 drones. And you can see that right here. It looks absolutely phenomenal, Wizard. Come on. This is awesome. This is great.
Gorgeous. Look, yeah. Fireworks, drones, 4K projections. I mean, look at the T-Rex right there. That's gorgeous. And they'll be playing the iconic movie pieces to each of these many, many IPs coming to the parade and Lagoon show. I think this will be a slam dunk summer hit and slam dunk hit for the whole park. all the way through past when Epic Universe opens.
I think this is gonna be phenomenal, Wizard. This is gonna be really, really cool. I know. So there was a Lagoon show before, and it played all the way until I want to say 2022. Is that right? Until a big hurricane shut it down. I think I said 2021 earlier, but yeah, 2022. Big hurricane damaged a lot of the show infrastructure, and unfortunately, it could not play again until those issues were resolved. Well, apparently, they are resolving these in a big, big way. I mean, to have that many fountains, to augment those fountains with as many drones as they are. Look, I understand. World of Color, right? I think it has like 1,200 fountains. Okay, I get it. Here's the thing, though. All right, World of Color doesn't have pyrotechnics outside
Or
of
drones.
or drones, and this has the whole shebang right here. Also, too, these will be up in projectors, which I understand World of Color did just update their projectors, but these right here, the canvas by which these things can be projected on, I don't think are as large. Now, people might say, well, that's a bad thing. No, it's actually a good thing because the clarity on these will be significant. It will be awesome looking to see these images conveyed on that lagoon right there. That unfortunately you walk around, and when I went, there was nothing there, and it was like, man, there should be something here. Well, now there's going to be restored finally.
And we will be watching it together, Doctor.
I might be taking you up on that for sure. Speaking of, that's not where the entertainment ends, people. This is where it just begins. Universal Mega Movie Parade right here. We've been Wizard, you have been keeping up with this story for a long, long time. Also on the Lagoon show, but definitely on this parade right here. Well, now we have a few things that have really been stunning people right here. The parade will be Universal Orlando's biggest daytime parade ever. Nearly 100 performers and 13 new floats, including a 16-foot Stay Puft Marshmallow Man atop the Ghostbusters float, and a finale with a Gyrosphere Raptors Tyrannosaurus Rex aboard a Jurassic World float. Wizard, come on here. Look at the franchises. Come on, you gotta be hyped.
Oh yeah, this is big, and in fact, some people have been speculating but that grand finale they'll just port over the short-lived Universal Studios Japan show that had all those exact elements over it. They think they might just use that, and that one looked incredible. Full-size gyrospheres and a T-Rex. It looked gorgeous, especially at nighttime. So, but I'm curious. Wow, that Stay Puft Ghostbusters, man. That it's gonna be massive going to the streets there. This parade might be quite a blowout.
This is absolutely phenomenal. I think I'm
also
super excited. I
like the mix of new and classic IPs. I like that nice mix there going on for both shows, but yeah, especially for the parade.
E.T. Back in the Future, Jaws, that will always get a thumbs up for me for sure. Ghostbusters is an awesome inclusion. I did not know that they had retained those rights, but hey, here we are. Jurassic World, awesome stuff right here. Minions, DreamWorks Animations, Trolls, Kung Fu Panda. Also, too, we quickly went over it a little bit. We'll go back. If you're not impressed with those IPs, folks, look at the IP list here for the Cinesensational.
It just keeps going.
Spectacular.
It just keeps on going.
Keeps on going. I mean, and Harry Potter, you got to do it. But look at this right here. Not only do you get Back to the Future, not only do you get E.T., Jaws, Shrek, all that, but you also get some stuff that's going to be coming to Epic Universe here as well, specifically How to Train Your Dragon and the Super Mario Brothers movie. So that is really, really, really cool to get a little bit of crossover there. That is for sure. Also, too, we got... Yes. We have as well... DreamWorks Land also got an opening date officially. June 14th right here. You can see a little bit of those images right here. Looks really good. Look, listen, this is a family-friendly land or area of this theme park right here in a park that desperately needs stuff like this. I think this is great. I think this is really good. I think this is really strong. Look,
That's
is it
plenty
meant
for
to?
the little ones to do.
Yes, yes. In a park, I didn't have much geared towards them. And there have been several iterations of this kind of land in this space right here, but I don't know, Wizard. This might be the best one yet.
Yeah, I mean, they add some meet and greets, add some interactive elements. They have some kind of a code live, which is like Pillow Talk with Fresh. They have the interactive gong there. They add a bee themed ride, added a brand new beautiful play area. They retained the water features and added a small kid like 0 to 2-year-old play area as well, with plenty of shade. Like talk about putting the park back in theme park. This place has so many trees you can't even see some of the stuff that's in it, which is great for the hot Florida sun and for the parents who want to sit back and relax while the children go off and play. So I think it's going to be a really fun addition for the little ones and younger kids. Not too young kids, but yeah, super little kids and younger kids as well.
And some of that DreamWorks Land stuff has already made its way in the form of merchandise out to these shops right here in the Universal Orlando Resort. We can see some stuff featuring Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Trolls, obviously. You'll see the Troller Coaster. You'll have Shrek's house. You'll have a Kung Fu Panda type village that you'll be seeing, which looks phenomenal. And you can see that represented in this merchandise right here. Very cute stuff. Very awesome. A very awesome mix of stuff. I like this. I like where they're going here. But man, that's not where it ends, folks. We have a brand new, I think brand new projection shows that will be showing on the Hogwarts Castle right here. Look, folks, if you have not seen this in person, okay, get yourself down either to Universal Studios Hollywood to see the Dark Arts show, or what we're seeing here, Hogwarts Always at Universal Orlando Resort, specifically Islands of Adventure. This thing looks absolutely fantastic. I guess there's going to be 4 different iterations based on all 4 houses. Is that correct?
Yes, there'll be 4 different endings, depending on, because the whole shows on the whole process from, when you get your letter in the mail to come to Hogwarts, the sorting hat and all that good stuff. So they'll have 4 different endings, and you can go on a journey to get to Hogwarts, which would be cool. Get accepted into Hogwarts.
Goodness gracious. Oh, I love this stuff. I love what Universal's doing. It's like, look, maybe we aren't necessarily going to have like the big attractions, and there's going to be a couple of those, but we don't have necessarily the big attractions to get people away from Epic Universe. So how do we augment what we have? We do it in the form of entertainment. This is a tried and true method employed by Disney for several years. For some reason, not right now. We're getting the entertainment package from Universal. We're getting it, which is great.
And like all at the same time, which is great.
Oh, fantastic. I am thrilled about this.
It's smart to have the Castle Show and the Cinemagic Show. Yep. They're different parks, so it encourages park hopper tickets because they're on the same day, so you want to see both of them. So you have to go ahead and buy a park hopper ticket, which is smart to go over there by
I agree. Some people have already been comparing the two in terms of new items or new experiences for the summer of 2024. Universal has a bunch of stuff, folks.
Looking a little blank over that Disney side.
Little blank, and folks, it's going to be even blanker when you look at the upcoming slate of stuff for 2025 on Disney's ledger. It's not looking too good, folks, but hopefully that will improve thusly. But you know what's interesting that might be improved sooner than we might think? I got a little rumor coming out of Orlando Theme Park Zone, okay? Intamin manufacturer roller coaster to replace Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios Florida. Wizard, you came on this show on That Park Place to talk about this a little bit. Now we're bringing it to people of the Theme Park Universe podcast listeners right here. What is your take on this? What have you been hearing? What's going on?
Well, yeah, looks like Rip Ride Rocket is coming to the end of its life next year, as it's rumored of several months ago, but now picking up steam. In fact, it's picking up so much steam, partially because Nintendo, Nintendo, they like their properties to be, perfect, not perfect, but, high quality, right? They want like really good idea. So the rumors actually have The Simpsons closing uh being pushed back, like they flipped, projects flipped. So Rip Ride Rocket closes before, and the Pokemon stuff opens like in 2030, and then the Rip Ride Rocket happens first because Nintendo and Pokemon they may be still figuring out what they exactly want to do with that spot. So they're take the
Gotcha.
time to take out Rip Ride Rocket, replace it with a version, an intimate, multi-dimensional spinning coaster like we're getting for Path's Fierce Holly Trip, but themed to a different franchise. So that'll be pretty cool. Be snaking along the park. It won't be part of Minions Land. It'll be its own thing. And yeah, it's going to be literally ripped off the foundations next year. Maybe I think after the summertime, or in the summertime, be closing. And then the new ride should be open in like 2026, 2027. Just a guess. Just didn't take long to rip apart and rebuild the thing. So I feel like by 2027, this should the new ride should be open. But yeah, that is the leading rumor. And yeah, so that will be and it's good because Epic will be open, so everyone will be over there, so they'll have some time to kind of work on Universal Studios Florida and close some attractions for refurb and take others away and get them all shiny and pretty.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean that. Ooh, there's a lot of facts. And you got the amazing theme park wizard here, laying down so much fire. It's hard to keep. It's hard to. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and break that down just a little bit. Alicia Stella came out and said
Jurassic Park, by the way, during that time next year might go under a lengthy refurb as well. Keeping a watch.
Jurassic Park River Adventure over there at Islands of Adventure, you mean?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Keep in mind the new movie also comes out next year, so.
It's a good point. It's a good point. They might need some synergy there. And look, I've been on the Islands of Adventure version of River Adventure. It needs help. Okay, it's in bad shape. I was stunned at just how lacking that was. Universal, come on, let's correct this. And it looks like they are to their credit right here. Alicia Stella came out with this, saying, "Get your last rocket rides in before this thing has gone fast." Obviously, capital F right there. Fast and Furious is definitely the interpretation for sure. It looks like this thing is gonna be on the way out. El Toro Ryan had YouTuber had a great video on this, talking about how this is a problematic coaster as part of his problematic coaster series. And yes, this is very problematic. Apparently, there have been a lot of costs associated with maintaining the operation of this experience right here. It is likely time. I know when I wrote it, it was very rough. It was fun. It was very rough. It didn't quite, I don't know, compare well when you're talking about you can board the Hogwarts Express and be dropped off at two phenomenal coasters in the other park, Velocicoaster and Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. So this definitely needs work here. That is for sure. There have been a lot of proposals thrown around. Fast and Furious, it looks like, is going to be that's. I think they have a win here when you talk about the Hollywood version of that attraction. I can see why they want to bring this over. I think Hollywood's still going to be better because we got the hillside and we got some amazing stuff. However, I expect Universal to augment that experience for the Florida guests in due time. But yeah, get it in, folks, for sure. Might not be around. That is for sure. But you know it will be around, or at least hopefully. maybe I've spoken too soon. I don't know. Wizard, save me. A new 120 mile per hour roller coaster. It looks like it's going to be opening for rides starting Saturday. This is Cedar Point.
Top Thrill 2.
I believe Sandusky, Ohio. Is that right? Yes, Sandusky, Ohio, for sure. This is a big story right here. Top Thrill Dragster has been an attraction that has been not only very problematic, but has also suffered from operational issues, maintenance issues, but also it's been involved in some incidents that unfortunately have left people in a worse position than when they were in the vicinity of this attraction. And so, obviously, something to be addressed. This was a kind of a launch coaster from Intamin as part of their kind of what do you want to call it? Their top hat coasters. There's a term for it. I'm sorry, coaster.
A strata coaster.
Strata coaster, right? And there were 3 versions of this. One was the prototype, which was Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. Interestingly enough, that is the first iteration. Top Thrill Dragster was the second, and then King Ka was the third. And a lot of people loved the launch of Top Thrill Dragster specifically because it launched in a very particular way, used a very particular mechanism. Well, unfortunately, those things are no more. However, we do have the second iteration of Top Thrill 2. Fortunately, it looks like Zamperla has come in to save the day and to maintain this attraction. And honestly, it is really something right here. So instead of just that kind of top hat section, you now have a reverse spike section. So what they're talking about here, let me see if I can get some footage of this. Yeah, so you launch initially from the load platform like you did before, but instead of going over the top hat, you actually what is it? You had that rollback that rolls you back, and now you are going back into the station. You pass the station up this spike right here, and then when you actually descend, you are launched again. This time with enough force to actually take you over the top hat element. And from what I understand, very cool. There's a couple of controversies with this, though, Wizard. A couple of things here that I want to go ahead and kind of note here. Now, I'm not beating up on Cedar Fair. I understand. You got some operational issues to contend with for this specific attraction for sure. But here we go right here. Cedar Point announces strict guidelines for riding the new Top Thrill 2 roller coaster. So what this article basically points out here is, to start, all riders must be at least 52 inches tall, be able to sit in a seat restraint completely lowered and touching the top of your thighs in order to ride. A test seat is located at the ride's entrance that allows guests to make sure that they meet those requirements. But if you're able to fit and seat properly, no flip-flops or sandals can be worn by riders. Okay, that's one. Potential riders are not allowed to enter the line barefoot and cannot leave their flip-flops or sandals near the entrance either. Those who wear glasses must have a strap attached to their glasses that holds them tightly into place. Riders cannot hold their glasses in their hands during the ride. Loose items are also banned. So cell phones, keys, lighters, lipstick, lip gloss, or any other common items you usually put in your pocket cannot be on your person while in line. Riders cannot use waist packs, zippered pockets, or pockets that fasten to store their loose items. They must be left with a non-rider or in a locker, folks. Once you pass that point of the entrance of the queue, which, by the way, these lockers are not available post-queue. These are pre-queue. You have to have all this stuff stored. Everything on you. I mean, they're being very strict about this.
Paid lockers.
Paid lockers as well. It's no freebies here like Universal would offer you to store your stuff there. This is quite restrictive, Wizard. This is causing quite the stir amongst coaster enthusiasts. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, that is quite restrictive, especially because the lockers aren't they're not in the queue. They're pre-queue, so it's really annoying that if you forgot something or you didn't know some out of your story, you have to go all the way back around. It's even more annoying that, again, they're paid lockers, especially because it's so restrictive that you have to put something in locker. They should at least give you a couple hours free, like, again, Universal does. But I guess I get why they're so restricted. They don't want any other accidents or someone getting hit. But again, like I said, at least make those lockers free. Because yeah, it's pretty kind of greedy over there to go ahead and make everyone put everything in locker and then charge them for said locker, or else they can't ride the attraction. And it looks like Cedar Fair, doing some Cedar Point and Cedar Fair get into a little fight with Sandusky, Ohio newspaper themselves, the Sentinel, Sandusky Sentinel. After 120-year-old paper, they've been partnering or they've been invited to Cedar Fair's media stuff for ever since Cedar Fair has been around, or Cedar Point's been around. And yeah, this time they're blocked from coming to this Top Thrill 2 Media Day.
It's a big deal.
Quite interesting there.
Yeah, I mean the other notable time that I've heard that something like that happening was when, following the LA Times coverage on the dealings between Disney and the city of Anaheim, they barred them from movie premieres and so forth. That made created quite a stink at the time. But Wizard, I mean, what is the beef? What is the origin of the beef? What's going on here?
I think it was that the whole restrictedness on the objects and stuff, and how I think they're just reporting on that and maybe giving their opinion. And I guess Cedar Point didn't like their opinion.
Oh man! By the way, folks, the footage that I'm using right here for this video, because I don't want to necessarily not shout out the guy, K.I. Coaster guy right here. He put this together here, so using a little bit of his machination of footage here, just for a visual representation of what we're talking about right here. This is a big deal, big deal that Top Thrill 2 is opening at all. I mean, literally, we thought Top Thrill Dragster was dead. You could see kind of this awning that they put over there, and the fence line and everything like that. Previously, this was a kind of a queue where you could kind of see this launch. Actually, they had stands, kind of like a racetrack would. Now that's
it's pretty cool
for sure.
Yeah, but what do you think of the marquee or the entrance?
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at that again right here. I like it. Look, these kind of regional parks right here. Yeah, I love the lighting package. Love that TT2 right there. I think that looks great. I like the visual imagery on the sides right there. I think it's slick. I think it's really, really cool. Look, with these regional parks, you're not going to get, Disney quality theming or Universal quality theming, I should say nowadays. But you're just looking to kind of capture the attention, do it in a very kind of slick way. I think this is definitely accomplishing that goal right there. Not so awesome about the temporary tent structure there for the lockers. Don't like that. But I think everything else works really, really well. We'll see.
What do you think of the name?
Top Thrill 2? No, I think it's good. I think it's decent. Look, Top Thrill Dragster was provided at a time when the world was very different, let's say, and tastes are very different, and coasters were very different. So you kind of want to maintain that branding, though. So I think Top Thrill 2, I think it works. I think it works out quite nicely. It's similar to
nice and simple, easily recognizable.
Yeah. I think it's work. I kind of think of it as kind of like X2, for example. So I think all that works right here. But you know what? We have another attraction that will be seeing its second version right here, or maybe it's not even its second version. Maybe it's like its third, its fourth. I don't know, because I'm not a super expert in the history of Tokyo. However, Buzz Lightyear ride closing forever at Tokyo Disneyland. Wreck-It Ralph attraction coming to the new Tomorrowland. So we've been keeping viewers up to date on what's been going on with Space Mountain that has precipitated this big change coming to Tokyo Disney's Tomorrowland. Big changes with that, folks. And so there's going to be a new aesthetic brought to the entire land because Space Mountain, the way it's incorporated in Tokyo, it really encompasses quite a bit, as the later iterations of Space Mountain often did. And so in order to keep up with that, they're doing Wreck-It Ralph, which is really, really interesting. Wizard, what's been going on?
It's very interesting, especially I think more so for our version, because I think this could team up with an eventual modest Tomorrowland retheme for us, retheme our Buzz Lightyear, teaming up with the Autopia Electrification. Both of those attractions are supposed to open in 2026. It'll be very interesting because it is the same layout. So this kind of came out of nowhere, right? So I'm curious to see if they just implement the same aesthetics or whatever they do here to our attraction, if they're thinking of that, because I feel like that would certainly be an upgrade over what we have now if they were to do that over here in Disneyland. I think it's great for Tokyo Disneyland. It kind of goes with that new vibe they got going over there with Tomorrowland. So we'll have to see. Well, maybe there'll be a surprise D23 announcement that our Buzz will be leaving as well. Especially because I think all Star Wars and all Toy Story should belong in their lands. Star Wars Land has this. Star Wars has a land. Toy Story has a whole land. Pixar Pier. So I feel like didn't really sort these IPs. They have so many IPs in the library. I feel like they should really start to sort them out. I don't think Tomorrowland attractions and Disneyland predate those lands at the respective parks, but now that they're there, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, they should be on Pixar Pier, and then Star Tour should be gone because it's a Star Tour land, or just repurposed into something else. But yeah, hopefully that is my hope.
That's the hope right here. Look, I mean, we've seen multiple iterations of this particular attraction. We've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp version at Hong Kong. We've seen the very distinct Buzz Lightyear version at Shanghai. I'll put it that way. The Wreck-It Ralph, I think is pretty good. I think it's a pretty good use of that IP right here. We heard of kind of this virtual reality racing attraction that was supposed to be earmarked for Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland in the place where Stitch's Great Escape previously occupied right there. That didn't unfortunately come to fruition. So Wreck-It Ralph has been associated with Tomorrowland before. Obviously, from what I understand, Wreck-It Ralph is very big over there in Japan. So all of this kind of stuff makes sense. I think you're right, though, Wizard. We definitely have to get more investment into Tomorrowland. And so could potentially Tokyo be paving the way for that? I think that's a distinct possibility. And some of the stuff that we've seen associated with their new Tomorrowland, it looks phenomenal. I mean, it really does look really, really good. The question becomes, is this going to look dated in the upcoming years? I mean, we'll see. But I think it incorporates new elements, maybe some Shanghai looking stuff, but also some vintage stuff. So I think this is some of the best Tomorrowland theming that we've seen for a while here. And hopefully, like you said, hopefully that we can maybe incorporate that into Disneyland's, because Disneyland's Tomorrowland needs work. Okay.
1000%.
With Toontown finally addressed, Tomorrowland is the outlier here. It's the, it's starting to be old in the tooth, as Nelson Belts would say. It's a cacophony of themes. There's a lot of contradictions there. I think it would be really, really nice to get some unified theming finally. Maybe, hopefully, we have some of that D23 Expo. We have heard rumors of maybe People Mover might be back on, which would be phenomenal. Maybe some other stuff. I didn't break anything for you, Wizard. I didn't break a scoop that I was supposed to keep, right?
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay, good, cool. So hopefully some of those things do end up coming, but I guess that's it for this show here, Wizard. There's some odds and ends in some other places, but hopefully we highlighted a few stories that you have a particular interest in.
Oh, we sure do. And if you guys liked this video, be sure to subscribe and check us out every 15th and 30th. Happy birthday to me. I'm an old man. I'm 28 now. But guess what?
Well, happy
I'm
birthday.
an old man.
I
May
know
15th.
you posted about that this morning. I do apologize.
I know. Doctor is such a busy guy. He's on like 18,000 channel. But I definitely want to stay tuned for the next episode because Disneyland Forward should be fully approved this time. And maybe we'll get some teases. Also, a Disney earnings call will pass. So that will be interesting. Now, although I'm not sure about the next episode because I think Dr. Trey will be on vacation. But either way, whatever the next episode is, you stay tuned for earnings call news and Disneyland Forward news. Hey, Super Nintendo World will officially be announced at Epic Universe on Thursday, covering that. And the Universal Studios Hollywood Hotel is going to be announced this month as well. So lots of cool stuff. Subscribe and have a magical day, Dr. Dre.